a mountain lion running around in their
Yes.
neighborhood in Omaha.
Yeah. They think he's living in Zorinsky.
Really?
Yeah. He's pretty decent sized one too. He or she.
Wow.
But the thing that gets me is the people that still walk around Zorinsky
Yeah.
on the walking path. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know if I would anymore.
Interesting.
Okay, well, let's get started on our topic this morning, and it's going to be adding value. And what does that mean?
I can tell you the skunk in the yard at the hotel did not add value to my life. It excited my life, but it didn't add value to it.
Well, I don't know. It depends on how you look at it. He didn't spray you,
It didn't spray me.
so that was kind of adding value. Now, if he'd have sprayed you,
So
I don't know if that would have been.
So you're saying I got the excitement factor out of it. I just didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I love how
So
you
my
your
take-
perspective.
Yeah. Because that's my take on it, is what does it mean to add value? Because I think adding value to someone is different for everyone. And I
Sure.
just have to say, like this morning, God adds value to our lives every day that we kind of sometimes take for granted and sometimes not. But walking out this morning and looking at the sunrise, it was beautiful. And I took a picture of it, but it doesn't do it justice, the colors. But I just, every morning and every night, the sun sets and the sun rises. And, Iowa and Nebraska have some of the most beautiful sunrises and sunsets. But that actually, just walking out there and seeing that, it's almost like a breath of fresh air. So every morning, on the mornings that I see the sunrise, it adds value to my day, because it's just kind of a so.
A breath of fresh air.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm still nervous about the skunk. That would not have been a fresh air.
What?
Red breath of fresh air had he seen me. It would have been bad. It scared the tar out of me. What was he doing in the middle of Bakersfield, California? Ah, crazy. Anyway, value. Where do you want to go with this, Rebecca? We got a little time here. We got 20 minutes. What do we want to talk about in terms of value for our clients, for our listeners today, all in all? Lean leadership.
I just, we add value in a lot of different ways in our company. So we add value by doing this Zoom podcast type thing. We add value with.
Is this a podcast? Is this what this is? Is this a podcast?
Well, it's sort of. I think it sort of is, but it's not really.
Okay.
But it's a podcast-ish.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
a new one. You don't do podcast. You do podcast-ish.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think with the talking and the lessons, I think we add value to people. I think we add value to people by sending out information. I think that the problem with that is a lot of people don't like to read it. So maybe they're not getting the value out of those things. With this discussion, someone had mentioned that not having the group discussion, they're not getting as much out of it. We did also have someone mention on our Friday calls that they get a lot more value out of it when we make a worksheet and to go along with the discussion. But there's other people in the group that don't find value in the worksheet. They just want to talk. They learn more by talking. So I guess the discussion this morning that I was thinking about is how do you encompass adding value? And how do you know that the value that you're adding, that the other person is receiving that?
So how do you answer
Because
that?
what-
How do you answer that question?
I don't know. I guess in one way that you know and understand that you're adding value is if somebody's coming back for more.
Mhm.
And I think that's maybe one way to engage it, and then and like I said, it's different for everybody, so you've kind of got to try to find a way in the middle to add that value. And deciding, so you do both. You have the discussion and the conversation and the worksheet, you know. So the people who like the worksheets, and I think of one of the trainings that we went to, or that we had not too long ago, that was kind of funny. We made those new workbooks, and out of the 10 people, we had 2 to 3 very high C's, and they were the ones that had the workbooks open and filling them out, and the rest of them were just discussing and just talking. So 3 of the people got a lot of value out of having those workbooks. The others, I think they didn't mind having them, but they didn't use them. They got more value out of the discussions.
Did that make it right or wrong one way or the other?
Absolutely not. I mean, I guess just finding what, I don't know, finding what people, figuring out what people find that is valuable. And it's a lot easier, I think, with one-on-one, because you can ask the questions. So in a group, it's a little bit more difficult, but that's why you, I believe, cover all your bases. But I think one-on-one, you can, as you talk to somebody and ask the questions on how they maybe like to learn, how they like to get information, what kinds of information, and then going from there. But
So it's the.
so yeah,
it's
there's my take.
The understanding value. You got to understand the value. In our sales, in our leadership and sales program, that's actually the very first part of the UPI methodology. So if you're not familiar with leadership and sales, we use a methodology called the UPI. It's a natural selling system that everybody uses every single day. It doesn't matter who you are, you use the UPI model every single day. It's understand, propose, and invest. And you're doing that in your own life. You're doing that when you have conversations with other people. You're doing that when you're convincing your boss that he needs to do something. This process is used every single day in our lives, this UPI model. And that's why we use it as a methodology, because it's natural for us. And the most important part is the understanding phase. What is the understanding phase? What do we understand? What do the clients understand? What influence factors are influencing both sides of the equation? And when you understand those elements, then you can also recognize value or the lack of value. You recognize what someone else values. You recognize what someone else is looking for. You recognize what's important to them, and you learn all that through the understanding phase. And then when you are able to deliver something to them, you want to be able to deliver based on the value as they see it. It's not just the value as we see something.
Right.
It's the value as they see something. For example, the reason that I'm out here in California, I'm working with the water industry again, working in agriculture and water. And one of the things that we are dealing with out here is some hardware problems. And the value has not been there due to some of the hardware issues that were set up 5, 6 years ago. A lot of it is just that the hardware is outdated. But a big part of my job right now is to go out and connect with everybody that's using this equipment, find out what they see as value, what they've been doing with this technology the last several years, what they want to see improved, and help move them into a system that is better for them. And that's again, part of that UPI model is that understanding phase. I can't make a proposal, I can't invest in their life, they can't invest in their life until there's a value understanding element. So that's a big part of everything that we do in life right now is that understanding phase, and go through that element. Valuable. How do you break down, Rebecca, you and I have talked a lot about this, valuable. How do you break down valuable? Valuable. Able is ability, right? Value,
Right.
ability. It's value able. Are you able to add value? Right? Are you able to deliver value? What's the difference between adding value and delivering value? You ever thought about that? What's the difference
Well, I
between
think
adding value?
adding value, like, so I'm sitting here thinking about some of the things that I get sent out that have absolutely nothing to do with what I do. But it's really, I think the interesting thing with that is it is still adding value, because there may be something, maybe one thing, one tiny sentence in that whole sheet of stuff that somebody sent me that has absolutely nothing to do with what we do, or has nothing to do with what I am interested in or what I work in. But there's still a piece of that you can take away from it. There's still a piece of maybe advice or something that you can take away from it. So I think that's adding value. Delivering value is something that we give. Does that make sense?
Well, it's something that was desired. It was ordered. When you have something delivered from Amazon, it wasn't Amazon adding value to you. It was you requesting something.
Yeah.
Right?
See,
So-
I'm getting added value every time I order from Amazon. I'm
Not
getting
the
value
point.
added to my life. Correct.
Not the point. Not the point. Totally missed the point there.
I'm glad you told me that, because now I look at it completely differently.
Yeah, that was not the point. The point is that when you deliver value, you can only deliver value if value is requested, if there's a value request put out there. And it's your customer, it's your colleague, it's someone close to you that says they want something, need something, they're looking for value. And then your responsibility and opportunity, deliver the value that they are seeking, right? You deliver that. If you add value to someone, it's your perspective of value that you just want to give away, that you just want to give to someone. That's just adding value as you can see it and as you perceive it. That's how you can add value to people. How do you multiply? How do you multiply value to people?
By the value that you deliver, having the person that received it send it on and add it to somebody else.
Good. That's one way of doing it, for sure. I'd love to get some feedback from our audience once in a while. I think we have Britt on here. I'd love to, Brittany, if you're available, you wanna chime in? How do you multiply value to people? Rebecca, feel free to jump in.
I don't know. It's Monday morning.
It's Monday morning.
Multiply value to people.
Yeah.
How about follow up and follow through.
That's a
And
good one.
that's you can do something one time or say you're going to do it, but then you actually got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on your industry or where you're at in the part of the world, it doesn't take much to do and exceed a customer's expectations, especially if they've never had anybody ever really do anything. But
Yeah.
multiply, bring, and I don't always encourage going above and beyond, but don't give away your secret sauce right away. And don't tell maybe your customer your secret sauce, and just show them a couple of times after the first, or show them after the first couple of times. And that's that whole under promise, over deliver kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So that
multiplying value.
Yep, that'd be some good ways to do that. Here's some other ideas too. Just thinking about it as we go off the cuff here, because that's what lean leadership is all about, right? We're off the cuff. This is how leadership works in the real business world. You don't get to just use leadership when it's prepared. You use it off the cuff. And one of the things that I think about when I consider multiplying value to people, it's adding value to a customer, adding value to a peer, delivering something in a multiplied level. In other words, like with a customer, for example, one of the things that I will oftentimes do with a customer is I'm listening very closely to something that they desire, something that they want, but I don't have the ability to deliver it. It's not in my area of expertise. It's outside of my industry. It's something that they're looking for, but I personally do not have a way to add that value. I do not have a way to deliver that value. So what I've found is I will listen carefully to what somebody is asking for, what somebody is seeking for, and then oftentimes I'll connect them with somebody else, connect them with another person, and multiply value into that person's life through someone else, not just through me. And I can get that individual involved with other individuals. I can get that individual involved with other products, other services. I can get that individual, I can serve that individual through different channels that are not just my channels. And that's one of the things that I look for, is an opportunity that I can multiply value to people. Because if I can be the most valuable person in their operation, that's a win, right? I want to be the most valuable person in their operation, which means I'm always, always, always looking for a way to add value, deliver value, or multiply value. And I never want to subtract value, but those are the things I'm looking for: adding value, delivering value, or multiplying value. And I can multiply when I bring in other people. Now that can also happen inside of our own companies. As our company grows and we add people to the company, we bring different personalities, different styles, we bring different people to the company. Now we have other ways that we can multiply value to the customer, because we can add services, we can add, other offerings that they're needing, what they're looking for, and we begin to compound, where we might have just been offering one product, one service earlier. Now we can offer two, now we can offer three, and some of those customers will take more, and we begin to multiply into their lives, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
So those are things that I would challenge us to think about throughout the week, is to just consider what is value, what is value from our perspective, what is value from their perspective. And we definitely want people to be thinking about delivering value. If you're delivering value, it's because you've been listening. You've been listening to what they want, and you deliver on what is wanted. Sometimes you deliver what is needed in a way that they want it. That's another element. You deliver what is needed in a way that is wanted, and again, still delivering. And that's a key to value. So we got about 5 minutes, Rebecca. You got a direction you want to go in the last 5 minutes?
Not really. We've kind of covered value and what that means. Like I said, it's different for everyone. I think value is different for everybody.
Yep.
I am glad that you made the point of the Amazon, because I know my FedEx driver, it makes him feel better to deliver value to me. And
You way
so
took that out. You way took that out of context.
I know,
Wow.
but I never looked at it that way. But he's helping,
Yeah.
and I bet that makes him feel good when he goes home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. You know, it's actually, what, 5 o'clock out here now? And I haven't had my coffee yet. And I'm watching you drink coffee. And I don't have the value of coffee right now.
You know, that's something else that's I think the little things in our day that add value to us that we don't realize or we take for granted.
Coffee?
Coffee, the sunrise,
No skunks
And
in
it
your
could-
front yard?
it could be it's just sometimes it's the little things that it's adding value to our lives. I was thinking about it, walking down the street, telling somebody good morning. That in itself could be adding value to someone that's maybe having a bad day, that is maybe having a hard time in their life. And just saying good morning to somebody, or
Mm-hmm.
actually saying, hey, how are you? And listening, because I think that gets to be kind of just a general statement. And hey, how are you? But somebody will turn around and go, wow, do you really want to know how I am? This is how I am. And to sit and listen to that. But just that little feeling of caring, of actually wanting to understand how somebody's doing, or that can add value to somebody's day so much. I think of the little kids that I used to work with in the school, and there's some of them that had some pretty rough homes, and just taking that minute to say, hey, let me help you with that, or hey, do you want to sit here beside me today, or just those little things that add value to their life. We may think they're minuscule, we may think they're just normal things, but to somebody else that could mean a lot.
Yeah. Right now I'm in my personal development. I'm reading through a book on success and the laws of success. And it's what you just mentioned, Rebecca, is the little things, in fact, one of the challenges was find someone every day to compliment. Find someone every single day and compliment them with sincerity, with no expectation in return. You just simply compliment, like you said, to add value to their life. No other reason. And that is a very big deal if you
Yeah.
can do that.
Yep.
Well, this has been fun from Bakersfield, California. It's already baking out there. It's 80 degrees and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm going to have to sign off and get ready to go to some of the meetings that I have planned for today.
Okay.
So,
Brett, thanks for joining us. I'm hoping I didn't do something incorrectly and other people are waiting someplace in some other Zoom meeting. So if they are, we'll hopefully chat next week. But
Yes.
Britt, we appreciate you being on here, and we appreciate you, and have a great day.
Yep. Brittany adds value to our life. That's awesome. Thank you very much. We did have a few people on Facebook, so if they weren't able to get in the Zoom, if you were unable to get in the Zoom, I apologize. I went and changed the Zoom email account and forgot to tell my wife about it, but I had a good reason. You want to hear my reason?
Sure, I'd love to hear the reason that you didn't
All-
tell your wife about something.
If all of you guys that use scheduling tools like Calendly or Acuity scheduling, stuff like this, if you have a scheduler tool, then you want to be able to use those to set up virtual meetings or set up one-on-one meetings with people. Those are amazing, amazing tools. Well, Zoom has one. Zoom has a really, really nice one, and it's only $5 a month. So $5 a month, you can set up and have your own scheduling tool. It works really, really, really well. Problem was, when we went to our 3i Life email, it was not syncing to the calendar. So the Zoom scheduler was not recognizing my Google Calendar. So I just went and changed the email, but forgot to tell Rebecca about it, and all the emails, all the previously set meetings went bad. My fault. Totally my fault. Did not add value to people, did I? Totally dropped the ball on that one.
We'll get it fixed.
Yeah. So those of us that are, those that watch this regularly, they're going to start learning that we are not tech savvy people. we make technical issues, but that should encourage you.
Well,
We
and the
make
bad thing about it
technical
is some of the
issues.
technical issues that we make are self-inflicted.
Yes, sometimes they are. All right, my friends, thank you. Thanks, Rebecca, for adding value to our lives this morning.
You're welcome. Everybody have a great day. We'll see you next week.
God bless.
See you guys.
Recording
Thanks.
stopped.
Thanks, Brett. Bye.